Well, it looks like the Senate has come to an agreement on the spending package. Some people call it a stimulus package, but actually it's not a stimulus package. It's just a pure spending package. But because three of the Republicans have agreed to vote with the Democrats, it looks like they will be able to get something passed. And, of course, we're supposed to be very happy about it because it had been proposed to be about $900 billion, and this will be $800 billion. But this is not unusual in Washington. Propose a higher number and then pretend you're acting fiscally conservative by cutting back a little bit. The one thing that we don't know is whether some of those cuts were elimination of tax breaks. In Washington, if you cut taxes, they record this as a cost to government. And unfortunately, a lot of conservatives have fallen into using this language. So the two should be separate. We should always be for tax cuts, but we should also be always for spending cuts as well. It looks like today the package will be passed, and then the question is whether it will go directly to the House in this manner, then the House rubber stamps it, or whether it goes to a conference. Right now it looks more like it will go to a conference, which will take a couple days to hammer that out, but they don't have to worry about passing it in the House because the majority is so strong there, and even when Republicans stick together, they can't defeat a bill. You know, it's encouraging to see the Republicans standing up against the big spending Democrats. All the Republicans voted against the package in the House. It's unfortunate that the three Republicans caved in and went with the Democrats. But, you know, in some ways it's too little too late. It's like they're born-again budget conservatives. Where were we in the past 8 years when we could have done something? And it's the last 8 years that has set this situation up. So we can't blame the Democrats for the conditions we have. We have to blame both parties and presidents of the last several decades that have generated this huge government. The question is why is it so bad for government to come in and start spending money? Because it's well intended. They want to stimulate the economy. And probably on occasion, with all these hundreds of billions of dollars, there will be a job or two created that's actually productive. But what they don't tell you is that job came from someplace else that would have been in the private sector. But all the spending is done, is accomplished by taking it out of the productive economy. Sure, we want more spending. We need a lot more spending in the economy, but it has to be done by market forces, by individuals, by businesses making proper decisions. A lot of times people concentrate on the problems of the Fed, which I do all the time, and that is the Fed's responsibility for creating the financial bubbles. They create new money out of thin air, lower interest rates artificially, and cause people to do things they otherwise wouldn't have done. They malinvest. They build too many houses. Today we have 19 million houses that are unoccupied. Most people think that inflation is only high prices, but that is just one of the consequences of inflation. Inflation is the distortion of interest rates in the money supply, which causes people to do dumb things. And right now we have resorted to trying to solve that problem by government spending more money, borrowing money, and asking the Fed to even inflate more. So in spite of the importance of this spending package that is being rushed through the House and Senate right now, the bigger problem is that the Fed is still intact, secretly passing out trillions of dollars, causing people to make more and more mistakes. So we're in a crisis period, and we should make the decision of what to do based on all the mistakes. But unfortunately, those individuals in Congress and those individuals running the executive branch as well as the Federal Reserve are locked in on mistakes and locked in on Keynesian economics and Federal Reserve inflationism. And as long as they do that, they're going to continue to run this economy into the ground. There will be no chance that we can rebuild until this whole thing falls down upon our heads. And right now, all these policies have been designed to literally put put more pressure on the dollar. So the next shoe to drop will be the dollar. There is now the bubble in buying too many dollars by buying treasury bills, especially the short-term treasury bills. Last week, interest rates are creeping up. I think there's a sign that foreigners and China will not be able to or are not willing to buy our debt. So we're in the throes of some major changes. So it's critical that this country wakes up and starts to realize that free markets work, property rights work, capitalism works. It's not the fault of capitalism and sound money that brought us to our knees. It's the fault of too much government intervention, too much socialism, too much paper money, and too much dependency on the government taking care of us from cradle to grave. That whole philosophy has to change if we ever expect to get back on our feet again. Hopefully, though, we will wake up as I travel across the country, and I was just recently at Rice University. It was very encouraging to meet so many young people who are seriously looking at this matter, but they are also very concerned because some of them were seniors in college and quite concerned about where their jobs will be coming from. So it is up to us who believe and understand these views to do our very best to move this country in the right direction.